Good morning. And welcome. We'd like to start with a song that everybody knows, I think. So please join us in Open the Eyes of My Heart.
Holy,
Nice. Thank you.
I want to see you guys. So. Welcome to Unity Center Spiritual Growth. I'm Reverend Amber Boren, and thank you for being here with us on this Sunday. And I am going to put my glasses on so I actually can see you better. I get to be in this really unique position to get up in front of you guys, but yet I am just at one with each of you. And that's the connection that I want you guys to feel as well. So I'd like you just to take a moment, maybe look around the room, open yourself up to unity, to connection. Or don't. It's your choice. It's your choice. But sometimes just taking a moment to recognize that we're unity, we're one. And thank you for those who are watching online. We see you as well. I'm going to ask Tanya Osterson to come and light our Christ candle for us. Thank you, Tanya. This light here, it's a representation of the light that we all carry within inside of us. I want you to take a moment, just look at that flame. Take a couple deep breaths and center yourself in that divine space, in that flame, that light that burns inside of us. And if you'll join me now in an opening prayer, we take that light that we see outside and we feel it and see it now in our hearts. It glows warm with love and with understanding. And with every sacred breath we take, that flame begins to expand and grow so that it moves out from our heart center and encompasses our entire body. That divine light, we bask in it, we feel it, just as when you look up into the sun and you feel that warmth down on your body. Your inner light is like that as well. And we allow it to grow larger. We allow it to heal us, to heal our bodies, to heal our minds. Our emotional beings are healed. And in this beautiful light, it expands beyond our bodies, out into the ethers around us. And it grows and interlaps with all the other beings that are around us too. So their light is our light, and our light is their light. Our strength is their strength, and their strength is our strength. We become rooted in the interconnectedness of our divineness, seeing ourselves not as many, but as one. We are one human family, one divine energy. And in this belief, we strengthen and root it so that it seeds itself on this planet. And we see this light growing and expanding and wrapping around the entirety of humankind so that it glows bright and deep. And it is strong, yet peaceful. And it is loving and healing, accepting. It is unity. And so it is. It is unity inside me and inside you. Amen. Today, our reading is going to be by a woman named Donna Mills, who is a sister of the light. And she's here to share with you. She is also on the path to applying to become our new minister here. So please welcome Donna Mills.
Morning. Oh, I don't have to cast my voice. This is awesome. There's a tribe in Africa that says the only prayer we ever need is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I study a wisdom tradition called the Gene Keys, and I don't know if any of you know them, but it's attached to something that's 3,000 years old called the I Ching. And in this, it is looking at our specific genetic propensities through our DNA, our 64 DNA. And so there is an orb, or they call it a sphere of your purpose. And in that is a shadow and a gift, and then the higher essence of the word. And the higher essence of my purpose is actually unity. And so applying for this job seems like the next best thing in my life. So here we go. I was going to bring some of my own readings this morning, but Mark Nepo jumped out and said me first. So I'm going to read from the Book of Awakenings. And this has been my bookmark for, it's my fig bar for 4 years. So today's reading is about how to live out loud. And this is actually 365 days, and today I'm reading from August 12th. I looked at today's and it didn't feel purposeful, and so I just opened the book and I said, give me a page, God. And so God gave me this page today. To live out loud, Balzac says, we are here to live out loud. Early on, we know enough to cry and to sound our way into the world. This is the primary purpose of voicing ourselves. Whatever comes out becomes a lifeline, a vein of expression by which we affirm again and again that we are vital, a quickening part of all of the majesty and the variety of life. But soon, perhaps in a school or at home, or even when first venturing after a sense of love we somehow think is not within us, too soon we start believing that we cry and we sound in order to be heard, and everything changes. Then we become anxious to be received, to be accepted and approved. But imagine if birds only sang when heard. If a musician only played when approved of. If poets only spoke when understood. There have been many times I've struggled through the expectation and disapproval of others to re-find my voice and rejoice as a living piece of things. Certainly there is a particular joy and a nourishment in being heard, but I have come to realize that sounding my way into the world to express who I am must always come first. It is, after all, your life. Since wanting to be thought well of never goes away, I always have to keep the reaction of others at bay long enough for my voice to make it to the light. I must always keep the reactions of others at bay long enough for my voice to make it to the light. I must tell you of an old man I knew who came here from Italy. He spent his life working as a plumber. He is a good and sweet man, and when he laughs, which is often, he also cries. No matter who's around or whether or not anyone understands, he keeps his pipes clean. He lives out loud. Unknowingly, he has shown me how to love the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. That spoke to me. So today, instead of, oh,
Yes. Yes.
do we? Oh, yes. Thank you. I guess I didn't put my glasses on well enough. Well, since I'm up here, I'm just going to go ahead and say that after we sing our congregational song, Brian is going to play a video to introduce our guest speaker for today. Sally Smith, who is in our congregation, is a dear friend of Karolyne Rogers, but Sally couldn't be here today, and so she filmed her introduction. And so after the congregation song, Brian will play the introduction. So thank you.
Please join us in Heart Please Open Wide. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Heart please open, I am. Heart please open wide, free the love I am inside. Yeah, just like that.
Good morning. I wanted to introduce Karolyne Rogers. I've known Karolyne for years, and she helped me greatly, and then I had the opportunity to work for her at her office for about 4 years, and this is what I'd say. I always describe it this way. I had life circumstances come along, and they knocked me off my feet, and I was like a bird that fell out of the nest, and I was on the ground, and she picked me up and took me home, and not took me home, she didn't literally take me home, she picked me up and just took me in her office and helped me, and I don't know, I'm from the country, so I've tried that many times with birds, and it was a failure every time. I don't know if any of you all have tried that in a little box with holes and a little water, and a little bird that you found, I don't know. That's a side note. Anyway, with Karolyne, here's what I've found, is that she has 2 ears and she knows how to use them. She can hear between the lines. She has empathy beyond empathy. And for me, she was just masterful at knowing when I was ready to hear those things I needed to hear about myself to grow. And she would, nudge me with those things and move me forward. And then when I was in the office and I could witness the people coming and going, then you could, every now and then, somebody would stand up a little straighter. or maybe their eyes would get a little brighter, or they'd talk about their grandchildren once in a while. Maybe bring some art in to share. So it was just an incredible blossoming of coming back to life. And of course, that's what happened to me. I was very, very at the end of my rope, beyond the end of my rope. And now I'm blossoming, and I owe a lot of that and most of that to Karolyne. So thank you, Karolyne, and everybody enjoy her.
Wow, Sally. What an amazing introduction. And I just have to say I'm honored to be here. And that the title of what I'm going to talk about is opening, how to open to receive, making room. And we'll start by how I start everything. About 2 o'clock this morning, I started to get ready. And then I worried, and then I started again to get ready. So what we'd like to do today is that Gwen has chosen a song, and I will drum with it a bit. And then I composed some flute music when I got back from Tibet, and it's called Call to Prayer. And so we'll transition into that. And I want to introduce one of the first concepts of opening to receive, or making room to receive. And that is what I call the art of the emotional drive-by. So what I'd like you to do as you listen to the drumming, to the flute music, and when you join with the song, or notice those places where you begin to not be present. And I want you to just notice them. And then if you choose, you can follow where it's taking you, or you can emotionally just drive by. So we'll start with a song.
I Am Letting Go. And please join in. I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting God.
I am fully alive.
I am fully alive.
Spirit by my side.
Spirit by my side.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting God.
I am fully alive.
I am fully alive.
Spirit by my side.
Spirit by my side.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting God.
I am fully alive.
I am fully alive.
Spirit by my side.
Spirit by my side.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting go.
I am letting God.
I am fully alive.
I am fully alive.
Spirit by my side.
Spirit by
also ask you to be present, to come back for wherever you were, to wherever we are, and to join me in what I have to say this morning. It's been a long time since I've been, not really a long time since I've been to Unity, but every time I've come to Unity, whether it's doing a presentation or the years that I played flute for the sunrise bonfire on Easter morning, I've always played the flute. And I was thinking that maybe this today is my being picked up falling out of the nest. I've had a lot of major health challenges. One of those that keeps me from playing the flute now. And it will help if you just kind of forgive me if I have to stand up and sit down. And if I fall over, I can get up. I practiced that yesterday. I have physical therapy. So in thinking about today, I had, of course, 900 different things that I wanted to do. And so I think I talked to several different people about what I was going to do, and it ends up I'm not going to do any of that. So we talked about making room to receive, to notice where you are, and to do the art of the emotional drive-by. I think that one of the things that really magnified for me is having the health challenges that I've had. I think I said to one person one time, I think I've set a record for how many ways I can hurt, whether it's physically or emotionally. So I started out with a stroke and am forever grateful for what didn't happen. And then about 2 years later, I was in my nightie taking the garbage out, and black ice allowed me or caused me to break my leg. And then about 5 days after that, my stomach decided to move up and try to get out of my esophagus. So I ended up in emergency surgery, and then about 10 days in the hospital and 20 days in rehab. And you'll notice my thankfulness for today, I have shoes that match, and I can be vertical and move around, and I'm very, very grateful for all of that. But very much magnified, how is it that we open to receive? How is it that we make room to receive? And how is it that we can choose to do that, not only by circumstance that squeeze us, but also by simply asking for what we need? Keeping in mind that it is our responsibility to meet our needs, not somebody else's. And I have a fun story about how I learned about that and how I'm continuing to learn about that. So, big believer asking for what you could receive, or asking for what you need and or want. So, I like roses for my birthday, preferably red, preferably a dozen, preferably long stem. So I ask for them. And guess what? I get them. And I put them down on the coffee table and say, the only reason you gave me these is because I asked for them. So part of that is receiving with grace, and also the art of the resent message. And the resent message was, thank you for hearing me. Thank you for making this happen. This is exactly what I want. As opposed to, you've known me long enough that you should have known this to begin with. Or the forever that I run into, if you really, really, really loved me, you would know what I need. So the other part of that is the receiving with grace. One of my mentors that I had an opportunity to study briefly with is Don Miguel, and one of the things he said was that we are our authentic self until we receive language. And then we begin to believe the stories that others tell us about who and how we are. And what I add to that is part of our adult developmental journey is to challenge the stories and to reclaim authenticity. part of my journey is I don't see very well anymore, and I obviously don't write very well either. The other way that we block is to focus on where we're going, rather than where we are, and or that we focus on an outcome. And so part of that is to learn that we can set intention, we can set goals, we can set a direction, but we need to let go of the outcome. All outcome has value. Some of it we like, some of it's difficult, but it all has value. And when we focus on an outcome, we limit the possibilities of what we can experience. One thing that I often talk to my clients about is the just allowing yourself to be present with what it is that you're experiencing and to lean into the discomfort to see whether there's any wisdom to learn there. And also that if we don't want to live in the museum of past hurts, what we need to do is to not beat ourselves up with our hindsight. Our hindsight is about the only major ongoing teacher we have in our life that we create or that we have access to every day. And so again, that leaning into the discomfort, that being able to decide and to see when it is that we have done something that we've either been pleased with or displeased with, or if someone else has. And that leads to another art, the art of the resent message. Well, that's not what you said yesterday. Or, I can't believe you said that. You've never said that before. Or, why did you say the other thing to begin with, rather than to hearing the resent message? Lots of ways to live our life, which is our art, as Don Miguel Ruiz would say. Good old conflict. One of the things that I've learned and relearned is that change can't happen with some sort of conflict. So how is it that we embrace conflict with the intent to learn why it's occurring, not to win or be right? And not to be afraid. I always say, I embrace change 100% as long as everything stays the same. Because it makes me uncomfortable when things change, when I'm used to something that happens and lo and behold, either somebody else behaves differently or I decide that I'm going to change my patterns in my life, and it's sort of, wow, that's uncomfortable. And again, the lean in. What's the wisdom here? We have an amazing ability to choose. Choose the things that we wish. And moving out of thinking that it is right, short of violence, that's another category, that it's right or wrong, black or white, good or bad. You said that yesterday. Why? Why did you say that yesterday if you're not going to say that today, or you want to change, or that it will be different? Another path to opening to receive is being able to do good grief. And we don't talk about grief very much because it's a difficult thing, but we're all in the process of both acquiring and letting go and losing. So our ability to grieve is our ability to find another healing path. I was talking about being in the outback. I had an opportunity. We camped 3,000 miles of the outback, which I probably wouldn't do again, but it was an amazing experience. And we visited some Aboriginal village Pidginjara tribe. And one of the things I learned there, well, several things. One of them was that if something happened to a tribal member, they were sent to Sari camp. And what Sari camp was a place where all their needs were met. If they had families or if they had any responsibility in community, it was covered. And that they were allowed to be in Sari camp for as long as they needed. And that their grief was openly acknowledged, or their losses. And I often hope for us that we have an opportunity to visit Sari camp in having compassion. Compassion for ourselves in our grief and compassion for others in their grief. Because often what happens when someone has particularly a tragic loss, they feel, people show up to begin with, and then time passes, and then people actually don't want to come and visit because sometimes I've often thought that people think grief is like COVID. It's catching. And if I am with someone, then maybe I have to acknowledge my own grieving, or that you don't know what to say, or you're afraid you're going to say the wrong thing. And there is never a wrong thing when you offer compassion for yourself and for others. I have three things that I always talk about in terms of what it is that we choose to say to ourselves and to the others around us. The first one is it kind? The second one is it true? And the third one is it necessary? And that if it meets that criteria, then it's pretty well an authentic message that you can actually own and hear and share. One of the things, and where I got most of these, in case you can't tell, is from working with people I said to myself, I'd like to retire by the time I'm 55. Well, I'm 81, and I didn't quite get it done, but I enjoy so much the being honored with the people that I work with, being trusted with their lives, and the amount of wisdom that I gather from people is amazing. And one of them that I've heard a lot is, I feel left out and I feel alone. So I could go into a lot of things, but usually the first thing that I say is, can you tell me how you show belonging? And that goes back to, it is our job to get our needs. How do you show belonging if you feel left out? What is it that you need to do to invite yourself into a sense of belonging? And then I usually put a good side order of God in there, and just to remember that we are not alone, even when we feel lonely. Other Outback learning. We had this meeting, and we traveled with some elders, and they were in a car. And we showed up at this place that we were going to have a meeting, and they refused to meet. And through our interpreter, we discovered that basically what they were saying is they had to wait until their spirits could catch up. And I think about how quickly we move through the world and how it is that we get jet lagged and how often that we drive in a car. So one of the things that I really invite people to do is that every time you get out of the car and put your feet on the ground, that you take a deep breath and arrive where it is that you are. Good practice. About 3 more things. Ongoing recentering, being present, is simply noticing, well, remembering to breathe. That's pretty important for us living. But that breathing where about every 2 hours you drop your shoulders, relax your stomach, and allow yourself to breathe into your stomach just a couple of times. Recenters, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The other thing is to make a list at the end of every day of the things that made you smile, so that it invites you to notice those things that work, or those things of beauty, or those things that are simply a smile. Could be something you hear, something you see, something you get tickled about yourself in terms of what you say. But really just noticing the little and the big things. The other one is in prayer and in starting every day. One of my favorite things to do is to watch the transition into the morning. And the thought I hold every time is, please guide me. And what we often do is we forget to ask for guidance and we want answers. So again, that remembering that asking for guidance is a heart opening, a outcome letting go, and a invitation to be guided by our own actions in the world and how it is that we perceive others. And I guess the last thing would be remaining curious about why it is that things happen, about why it is that we do or say, or others do or say. Remaining curious helps us keep out of judgment, because we're always wondering. It's like entering conflict with an intent to learn why it's occurring rather than to win or be right. Remaining curious. The last thing I'd like to do is, if I can, is read to you. This is a Christmas present I got from 2 friends of mine. And I don't see very well, and I don't read very well, so be gentle with me. It's worth listening to. It's, what if God is joy? What if God is joy? What if the Creator is bliss, and the Son is gratitude, and the Holy Spirit is a gleeful wonder? What if creating is God's play, and the Big Bang was an outburst of happiness, and the galaxies are spun from pure delight? What if gravity that holds the universe together is simply the pleasure of harmony, and the every created thing is ecstatic desire is another? What if God's great celebration God is celebrating as I read, spinning and dancing and making music and beauty and inviting everyone to feast and wonder? What if being itself is a miracle, that God gets endless enjoyment out of it? What if God doesn't own a throne and has never handled a gavel, but has a million musical instruments surrounding? What if God goes to hell every weekend with a load of tissue and listens to everybody who's locked themselves up there until they've cried out their sorrows, and they come out laughing and dancing? What if what it means to come to God is to enter and to experience joy? What if the work of justice is to enable everyone to know true joy? What if even in our grief and our despair, the root is our being in joy? And resurrection means passing through our sorrow into God's joy. What if salvation means being rescued from our inability to rejoice? Why not? Do you think that you can convince that God is somber and serious? What if even now, as you consider this and think it's kind of silly, God is laughing and waiting? Thank you for the honor of being here. Humbles.
Thank you, Karolyne. It was like polishing the beautiful gems. There are so many in that lesson. It's good to sit in this energy. It's good. It is love offering time. And before I go through my spiel, oftentimes we're asking for financial gifts because we have bills to pay. But that's just one way of giving here at Unity. Other ways are giving of your time, your effort, your energy, and so many of you do that with all of your unique talents and your unique gifts. And so I have a couple of clipboards here. If you are willing to give some of your time, we're trying to start a tween and teen team to help serve the needs of those young people who are in their transitory phase, which we all remember can be challenging. So if you feel guided to work with our tweens and our teens, think about signing up. And the more that we have signed, the more help means that the more we're able to give. And I know it's difficult to maybe want to sacrifice one of your Sunday services to be of service, but sometimes that's what it means. We all need to make small sacrifices in order to build each other up. Also, I'm creating a grounds team. We have quite the property here at Unity that we have been blessed with, and it's beautiful, and it takes a lot of work, a lot. And I am only one person. Well, actually, I'm many different people, but physically, I can only do the work of one human. And so I need help. We need help here. And so if you're able to join me, and I know David, you're out there somewhere. He's volunteered. He's been trimming all of our trees out here with his time. I know he's here somewhere. He's hiding, maybe. Oh, there you are. If you'll join myself and David and maybe think about giving a little bit of your time to help mow, weed whack, clean up the parking lot islands, and on and on and on, we would appreciate that. Otherwise, it's love offering time.
Please join us. Wonder and child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. you.
Two of my favorite people. If you'll help me bless these love offerings. Divine Spirit, we are grateful for all who have given of their financial blessings. We are grateful for all who give of their energy, who all give of their time, of their love, of their peace, of their patience, and those who give of their joy. We're also grateful for those who share their grief and their vulnerability with us. For it is the yin and yang of this universe that we live in that we can understand the richness of the gifts we've been given. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tracy Beeson, and I'm the celebration assistant for today. We want to welcome any newcomers that are here visiting. We welcome you with open arms. Everybody who is on a spiritual path is welcome here at Unity. And if you're a newcomer, raise your hand. We have a welcome packet for you. Oh, we've got a couple newbies right up front. Very cool. Welcome. So glad you're here. I also have the pleasure of introducing our fabulous musicians. We have Gwen and Paul Gathercole over here on the piano and vocals. Thank you. And we have our streaming back here. We have Kelly, and we've got the gentleman doing all the tech stuff and the live streaming. So thank you guys for all you do. We also have been thanking individual groups because there are so many people that contribute to having things run as smoothly as they do here. And so this week we are celebrating the celebration assistants. So if you're a celebration assistant, stand up. We want to recognize you. There we go. They're scattered throughout. Cool. Thank you, everyone. And we also have prayer chaplains. Unity is very focused on prayer, and we always want to have somebody available to pray with you. So we have a couple of prayer chaplains who will be available after the service. One will be in the meditation room, and the other will likely be out here in the library. So let's have our prayer chaplains stand up. So if anybody's looking for prayer after the service, here we go. Okay, there we go. We got Scott back here and Donna. Thank you, guys. Also, if you want to put a prayer into one of our prayer vessels, they're out in the hall. I guess there's probably two out in the hall. If you put a prayer in there, we will pray with you for a week, and then we'll send that prayer off to Unity to be prayed over for another month. So big focus on prayer, and we would love to join you in any prayers that you have. And now we are going to bring our kids in.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Shine on
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine.
Well,
Everywhere I go, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
shine on them, my sisters and brothers. We're gonna let it shine. Hey, my sisters and my brothers.
We're gonna let it shine.
Yeah, my sisters and my brothers.
We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Shine on, let it
Shine, let it shine, let it shine.
shine on.
I'm going to hijack this again because I forgot the most important thing. I forgot announcements. I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. So yes, these are the kids, and we're going to hear about what they did soon. But I also want to call to your attention to a couple events coming up. Right after the service today, we are going to have an opportunity for it's called Cosmic Cafe, and it's a discussion group focusing on unraveling the mysteries of God, universe, science, spirituality, and ourselves. So please join Thomas or Jala for that after the service. We also have our new member class today after the service, so stick around for that if you're interested in becoming a member. On Friday, it's this Friday, May? Yeah. This Friday, whoa. Movie night this Friday featuring George Lucas's first Star Wars movie, Episode 4, A New Hope. So come to that. The film is being offered by Love Offering, and popcorn will be available by donation. And then if you want to keep hanging out that weekend, on Saturday, we will have the Pilgrim's Peace Labyrinth Walk. So come join fellow seekers to discover clarity, insight, peace, and empowerment. Join us May 4th for Susie Hicks. She will also be presenting for a message, expanding the meaning and power of the Force. May the 4th be with you. We'll also have the potluck next week after the service. So bring a dish to share, and we will love to spend more time with you then. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Tracy. And of course, you can find more announcements in your bulletin and on the website. But now, Sparrow, you want to tell us what you guys did today?
Yes. So we continued our 7 directions little ritual outside. It was really lovely. The wind kept our candles not lit, so that was fun. And we went to the garden and we saw and talked about what we want to do in our garden bed. So that was really fun too. And we had wonderful teens today show up with an activity prepared for the kids and shared that. So that was really lovely. Thank you, Chloe and Nancy. And if you guys want to bring some pool noodles, we can turn those into lightsabers. So we'll do that on the 4th as well.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, kids. You want to go back to your family? Want to go find your family? We'll go find your families. There we go. All right. Thanks, Dorian. All right, and if you'll all stand and please join us in the singing of our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, family all of me. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song of vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Thank you for being here.
am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. Flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wonder and child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. And every day, like a beautiful song, as I'm choosing my way.